Welcome to the Hidden Dagger Inn.
Greetings, citizens, and welcome back to the Hidden Dagger Inn. On June 3rd, yesterday, Vaknar, one of the developers from Ashes of Creation, reached out to the community in the official Discord, asking players to give their thoughts and feedback on the guild progression system. Now, this has been a hot topic in the game. The post specifically sought opinions of guild XP, acquisition, the pace of guild leveling, and the impact of the current guild skill tree. And the response from the players was swift, and while mostly constructive, it was overwhelmingly critical. So before I continue, please, Ashes, please get into guild banks and guild storage. It was definitely one of the most pressing things that I saw on the forums yesterday. That's what people really want, and they want it soon. Please. After reading a lot of the posts and seeing the feedback, it's just a system that's not being used. At the heart of the issue, the harsh reality is that many guilds haven't even attempted to level up with the current system. Why? Because the methods of earning the guild experience are so restricted and convoluted that most players don't find it worth engaging in. Some guild leaders even admitted that they forgot the system existed entirely. The current system requires players to contribute some of their personal glint just to push progression forward in a system where some guilds already impose taxes or resource obligation. You want more? Rather than feeling like a shared adventurer, guild leveling becomes a drain on individual resources with little to no visible return. It's no wonder so few players participate in it. Currently, guild XP is tied to almost exclusively obtaining lawless trophies in the lawless lands, also some bosses, and running activities like commodity caravans, an experience many described as punishing, grindy, and confusing. There is also a method involving buying and selling items for XP, but that too feels clunky and out of touch with how players naturally want to play an MMORPG. As I've said before, Ashes of Creation is trying to reinvent the wheel. You already have the innovation with the nodes, there's no need to force every system to be unique. Because currently the pace in which Guild XP is accrued is painfully slow. Even after weeks of gameplay and coordination, many guilds still sit at level 0. Some players noted that they weren't even sure that a single guild had managed to hit level 1. For a system that meant to promote long-term progression and identity, it currently feels more like an afterthought, or worse, a trap that punishes guilds for even trying. Many shared my same beliefs that players should be able to get experience by just doing collective activities throughout the world, like hunting world bosses and gathering, to PvP skirmishes, crafting milestones perhaps. This would allow every playstyle to contribute to the guild's growth and give players a sense of shared achievement. One of the other questions was how we felt about the guild skill tree. Well, it was one of a few glimmers of hope to smaller guilds, but even that remains largely inaccessible since most guilds are unable to gain XP or even level up. The skill tree goes untested and unused, so nobody really knows. It's a system that sounds interesting on paper, but in practice, most players haven't even had a chance to see what it can do. Even on paper, though, the benefits outlined in a guild skill tree appear underwhelming. The perks, while thematic, do little to shift the actual balance of power. In a game where numbers matter, minor buffs won't close the gap between small and skilled guilds and massive zergs. If smaller or more tactical groups are ever going to stand a chance, they need meaningful tools, abilities that increase crowd control durations, enhance AoE effectiveness for large groups, or provide defensive scaling in group versus group combat. One of the games that I often refer to because it was so great at PvP was games like Dark Age of Camelot that proved a well-coordinated 8-man team could decimate much larger forces, not through raw stats, but through strategic tools like powerful CC, positioning, and timing. While CC duration in that game was arguably extreme, we all know that, it offered a baseline idea. Give smaller groups tactical advantages that reward execution. Meeting somewhere in the middle could make Ashes of Creation guild dynamics far more interesting. So right now, the guild tree remains an unrealized system, pretty much locked behind a broken progression wall. And until they shift some kind of power dynamics in a meaningful way, and well, one, make it where you can actually level up, it risks becoming yet another layer of complexity without any true impact at the moment. things that keeps going off of my brain is something I've heard all my life. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. The players on Discord giving their feedback want to have a simpler solution. Not every mechanic needs to be experimental. The community has made it clear reward the players by playing the game they want to enjoy. Allow guild members, all guild members, regardless of their playstyle, to contribute to progression. The caravan based XP isn't the worst idea in the world. It's just that we need, as players, to get experience for our guild the normal ways, the ways that we're used to over all the MMOs. Now, this would be fine to expedite your guild's experience to really, throw that boost for those, try hard guilds. My final thought was Vaknar's question was pretty much an open floor question to the community and to get their feedback on a system, which is good and this is what the developers do all the time. But what this one truly did was shine a light on a system that is not functioning as intended. The current guild progression mechanics in Ash's creation are, by most accounts, broken. They're too punishing, too obscure, and too disconnected from how people naturally feel and how they build communities in MMOs. If Ash as a creation wants to fulfill its promise of deep player-driven systems, it must start by making guild progression meaningful in a guild bank and worth investing for all players, not just the most dedicated caravanners. Until then, guilds will continue to ignore systems that feel more like a burden than a reward. Until then, Vera, may your caravans find safe passage. Take care, all. Have a great night.